morning, guys. It's your favorite cutie Mel back again on my Soap Hot Channel to give you guys yet another video. And today we're just going to be doing a day in a life video. I've been thinking about what I wanted to post and I'm not really sure, so when all else fails, we're going to stay consistent and we're going to do a vlog today. So before we get into anything, hit that.
I can't deny how I feel when I see you. I'm gonna love you up. I cannot lie to myself when we're with you. You really turn me up. Get a ball like a body.
Alright, you guys, so I want to work out today. I went working out yesterday with my son. We went to the stairs, but I think I want to do something that's a little bit more intense. I might go back to the stairs today and just run them a couple of times, maybe get some laps in and, you know, just try to get my heart rate up and just stay consistent. I really want to be working out more. I feel like it's important for your peace of mind. I think that when you're working out and you're taking care of your body, it makes it even easier to not overthink. It makes it easier for you to be like good with everything. It increases your endorphins, just puts you in a better mood for the day, and it encourages me to continue to stay healthy and eat healthy, drink healthy, and that's what we're going to do. But before I do that, I'm going to fulfill the orders that I have gotten over the weekend, and then I'm going to take them with me as I leave so that I can drop them off at the post office. That way I'm not just scrambling around, because later today I'll also have like a little consultation. I may or may not tell you guys about that later, or I probably will take you guys with me, but I won't tell you guys what it's for yet. But I'm going to a consultation today at 1 p.m., which is why I'm trying to get up, get going, and get out and get back so I can shower up and be ready to leave prior to that time, probably around 12:30. Right now it's about to be, it's 9:12, so that means I have to hurry up. So I'm about to set you guys up on the tripod. We're about to do a couple orders together and then we'll be out of here. All right, you guys, I have this super cool desk. I like this desk. I got it from Wayfair. I saw it on an IG ad. That's how I know Instagram ads work, because if I see something on the IG ad and I feel like it's really going to be useful, then I probably will use it. So basically this desk, it swoops out, which makes it very convenient, because it's like then if I want more desk space, I can have it. But then also, like, when I'm not doing things that I need desk space for, I don't need the extra thing. Let me check the orders in this thing right here. Shout out to my mom. Sorry, I'm such a swiper, no swiper. Hold on. Got my little stool right here. I'm gonna get a cuter one for my desk, maybe like a white one with fur on it. But before we get started with the orders, I need to hydrate myself, because I know once I get done, I want to zip out of here. So hold on just a second and I'll show you guys what we're going to be drinking for the day. Guys, I'm going to bend over because I don't feel like changing the angle. This is called Green and Clean Organic Life. It's an organic fruit and vegetable juice that I like to mix with water. As you can see, I already have some water that I didn't drink from last night. And I'm just gonna mix the two. I like to water everything down, because it's just like, I don't know, that's just how I am. Even like with regular juice, cranberry juice, apple juice, I like to water it down. So, it's just a surefire way for me to ensure that I'm getting enough water. And I just don't like things that are super sweet unless like I'm eating cake or something. So, let me get this. Let me find my laptop and then we'll get to work, you guys. So what I've been doing recently when I was at home, let me go turn off this freaking alarm for my son's room, because I know it's really annoying. Okay, so put this in. So I think it's a low battery. Anyways, you guys, so I've been trying to change my focus as far as like how I've been doing promotions lately. So trying to put out a new vibration of like, we're not doing any more hustling. And what I mean by that is like, I'm not about to keep, I feel like, I'm not going to say that I did, but low key, I feel like I really did start like a wave of people who are now like all underneath the comments on Twitter, because it does work. but it's very oversaturated now, and I still get orders from doing that, but I'm ready to move on and do something different as far as like how I'm promoting, my attitude towards promoting. I don't want to force it. I want it to flow, and it is flowing. So I'm just doing something different, and I'm going to allow myself to trust myself in this process, and just allow myself to develop other ways and other means and unknown and known ways to just acquire orders, because I'm just in a different situation. I'm here to elevate. I'm super excited about where I am in life right now. There's just so many possibilities, and I made this change in my life because I knew that it would motivate me to be better than I already was, and everything just feels so inspiring and new as far as like how I'm just going about things. Like, I'm really trying to put all the things that I'm learning to use about the law of attraction and just the law of assumption, and just really doing my part mentally to evolve. Because the thing is, like, it seems like, I was just telling my mom the other day, like, we hear about law of attraction all the time, and we hear these things like attracts like and all this different stuff, but I feel like a lot of us don't really dive into it deep. Okay, hold on. We got an order for Cosmic Babe, red lace and red my Valentine. So I'll be right back. Or you guys want to come with me? All right, so we're getting a Cosmic Babe. Okay, I think that's actually too. Cosmic Babe. Just want to be sure because you can see. Cosmic Babe and my Valentine, that is red. You guys know that we have the red sale going on. If you don't, we do. And she got a crotchless red situation. So we're gonna bag this up. I think I have everything there. And yeah, we're about to do what it do. But yeah, like, a lot of us are very superficial when it comes to the law of attraction, and I feel like while that can sometimes be a good thing because you don't overthink it, like when you really start, oh wow, I didn't realize that this had like a little thumb space. This is really cool. I like this. Hey, okay. Anyway, while it's good, I think sometimes to be general about things, I feel like most of the people who are really successful, like Steve Jobs, like he read over and over again, The Journey of the Yogi, or whatever the book is called. And basically that's like, it goes hand in hand with all of the things that I'm learning and I'm filling my mind with. Like, literally, I have stopped really consuming a lot of information that I was consuming that I feel like isn't helpful. So it's just like, even there's people that I used to watch on YouTube that I feel like, okay, well now I'm not gonna watch them anymore because their ideals and their beliefs are not like in alignment with what I want for myself. And like, if people are not being empowering, then I'm not gonna be watching the content anymore. Like, I used to be watching a lot of, like, you know, celebrity culture things, but then I just realized that like, it doesn't really matter. If it's not positive, then I don't really want to be consuming the information, especially on a regular basis, because it's not helping me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people talking bad about other people, or people just saying negative things, it's not helping me in my journey to like really stay pure and like purify my subconscious, purify like my thoughts on a regular basis. At least until I feel like I've gotten to a higher level of just being. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, I believe that if I continue to monitor what it is that I'm putting into my mind, only like concentrate and allow my focus to go towards things that I feel like really are helping me. Hold on, you guys, let me go get this order. If I'm becoming more conscious of what I consume, not only like physically, like what I eat, but what mentally I'm consuming, it's gonna help me to be more congruent. I want to be a more congruent human being, meaning like I want my environment, and I want like my thoughts, I want my actions I want everything to be in alignment with the things that I actually want, because I honestly feel like that's been the only thing that's holding me back, or really anybody back. If you're not being congruent, then I mean, you don't have to be perfect, but what I mean is like, I just want to be as congruent as possible. That doesn't mean that I'm never going to have like any conflicting thoughts, or like, you know, I'm going to be like this superhuman person who can only think positively. But when I'm focusing mostly on positive information and things that are going to help me to evolve as a human being, and to like evolve my thought into a more positive place, and just be more in tune with myself, really get to know myself, get to know what it is that I personally struggle with, how can I start working on those things more and being more like in alignment. Hold on, you guys, be right back. Black and red. Hold on. Having that focus is going to allow me to just soar so much faster, so much like easier, and that's why I'm willing, because I'm able and I am financially abundant, and you know, I have the flow of income and I'm successful. I have the time to kind of slow down and speed up. So that's what I'm doing right now. I decided that I'm done with the hustle culture. I'm ready to evolve past the hustle culture, in the sense of like, of course I'm going to continue to be me and continue to like create things that I feel like are things that I want to see happen for myself and for others, and you know, continue to be a service in the ways that I can, but from a different space. Not from a space of neediness, not from a space of forcing, not from a space of, not from a space of forcing it mentally, physically, none of that. Like, I mean that for everything. And that's why I'm just like, I have to take a step back. I have to realize where I am in the things that I have produced thus far with those kinds of mindsets, because to a certain degree, I do feel like that was the reason why that's the reason why I've been wanting to give up on things, because the forcing of thought, the forcing of everything, like, you know. So now I'm just ready to do things a different way, and I am doing things a different way, and I've already started, and especially since I moved in, it's only the beginning of my journey. I'm so excited to spend this whole year just becoming better in every way that I can, in every single way that I can, mentally, physically, emotionally. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. Every single way that I freaking can. So I encourage you guys, if you want to be more of like an entrepreneur who is doing things with ease and, you know, just flowing through life and just having an easier experience, that doesn't mean that everything is going to be easy. That's not what I mean, but just knowing that you're in the flow of the universe and that you're working with the universal laws. That's my goal. Like, I want to work more in the universal law, because it makes sense. Instead of trying to go against the current, go with the current of nature. Like, there's a way that things are done. Just like there are a way things are done in nature, there's a way that things are done in the universe. And there's an easier way for things to be accomplished. There's a million ways for things to be accomplished, because we have human will and we're able to will ourselves, force ourselves into certain positions, but that becomes stressful. That becomes, you know, you just get exhausted. That becomes burnout. And that's not really where I want to be. So I think I'm going to stop there for now. I'm about to take these little things down. But yeah, that's not where I want to be anymore. I know, honestly, and I'm not going to sit up here and act like I work super hard, because my thing is working smart. I don't work super hard, I work smart. But I feel like there's a way for me to even further enhance my process to where it can be even easier. And I know that that's possible. I know that it's possible. And I know that the people who make the most money in the world are the ones who mostly, I'm not gonna say that they don't work that hard. They do the least. Most of the people who are collecting the big checks, they've done the work. They put the work in ahead of time, you know, to set up the structure and stuff like that. And that does require a certain amount of, like, you know, hard work. But I feel like I'm at the point now where I'm starting to set up a lot of structures in my life and a lot of like ways to make money, and I'm ready to just further enhance. I want to evolve my processes, and I want to continue to get better. And the way that I do that is by studying, not necessarily the way that other people are doing it, but I study the universal law. I don't feel like I've been closely in tune with myself the way that I thought that I was. So now I am beginning to make it a priority. And the reason why I'm making it a priority now is because now it's easier because I'm in my own space. So I don't have to like, there's less conflicting other things going on in my world. There's less, you know, outside influence. And to a certain degree, it's cool to like have other people's opinions on things, but for the most part, it has to be, you're the only one who really knows what you really want in life, and sometimes, to a certain degree, sharing isn't always that helpful. Why I just do it too? Oh. And what I mean by that is just like of course it's great to get information from other people, especially on practical things, but when it comes to like a really big goal, or if you feel like you're trying to do things in a way that you haven't necessarily seen anyone personally do things, sometimes it's not always a great idea to share what you want, and because you don't want to get a whole bunch of conflicting opinions, because I really believe that God individually, whether you say it's God, our subconscious mind, the universe, whatever you want to call it, really doesn't matter, yourself, you already know what it is that you are here to accomplish, and if you don't, all you have to do is just tune into yourself, and you'll begin to realize the things that you already do, the things that you can do to serve the world, the things that you are already doing that come naturally to you that feel good. You know, sometimes it's not as obvious as good at basketball, or I'm good at singing or in dancing. Sometimes it's not as obvious as that. Sometimes it's, oh wow, I have really harmonious relationships with everyone in my life. And that could be great because communication is everything. That probably means you're a great communicator. And you can do things with that. Like, you do great things with communication. Communication is the thing, honestly, that binds us all together, both verbal and nonverbal. Like, maybe you have a great way of going about that, or, you know, maybe you're really good at tech, or it could be anything. Because we are all part of the one love, and we all have our special place in the world, and everything that everyone is doing is important. It's essential because together we are all moving the consciousness forward. We are all creating a better world. Just think about like hundreds and hundreds of years ago when they would probably be in this world right now, seeing all the technology that we have, all of the things that have evolved, and probably be in complete disbelief. That's because when you're tuned in, everything that you're doing is evolving everything else. You have to start thinking of yourself as an important person, an essential person, because you are, and we all are. Nobody is necessarily special. We may all have specializations, like meaning that we're all special at certain things. We're not like completely the same. But there are things that only you can offer this world. And you know, it's time to start tapping in. And if you don't know what those things are, you just have to start tapping in with yourself. And even more than anything else, that's what I really desire to do. I feel like I have more of a desire to really get to know myself more than I ever have in my whole entire life. Okay, I'm gonna stop that for now and reconvene later. Those are just all the orders that I felt like needs to go out today. Yeah, put them in a small bag. Got these off on my way. And I just want to finish this just so I can make sure I'm. The thing I like about about this juice too is because it's like fruit and vegetable, so it's like I'm getting water, but I'm also getting like a little bit of nutrients before. I get out perfect at 9:30. I need to invest in a fanny pack. If I invest in a fanny pack, it'd be easier so I could put my keys in there when I like work out and when I run. Speaking of keys, there it goes. So yeah, let's head out. But yeah, you guys, now I'm just really trying to focus on myself. And I really want to do that, and I don't think that that necessarily means that I have to like cut people off or be any different than I'm kind of already being as far as like everybody else. So focus on myself. Focusing on myself means to me just making a conscious awareness of every single day, like just checking in with me. How do I feel? I almost forgot about you guys. So I'm already at the steps and I'm going up. I did a little jog beforehand, so I'm out of breath. But yeah, check back in with you guys.
And slavish dependence. Lazy thoughts crystallize into habits of uncleanliness and dishonesty, which solidify into circumstances of foulness and beggary. Hateful and condemnatory thoughts crystallize into habits of accusation and violence, which solidify into circumstances of injury and persecution. Selfish thoughts of all kinds crystallize into habits of self-seeking, which solidify into circumstances more or less distressing. On the other hand, beautiful thoughts of all kinds crystallize into habits of grace and kindliness, which solidify into genial and sunny circumstances. Pure thoughts crystallize into habits of temperance and self-control, which solidify into circumstances of repose and peace. Thoughts of courage, self-reliance, and decision crystallize into manly habits, which solidify into circumstances of success, plenty, and freedom. Energetic thoughts crystallize into habits of cleanliness and industry, which solidify into circumstances of pleasantness. Gentle and forgiving thoughts crystallize into habits of gentleness, which solidify into protective and preservative circumstances. Loving and unselfish thoughts crystallize into habits of self-forgetfulness for others, which solidify into circumstances of sure and abiding prosperity and true riches. A particular train of thought persisted in, be it good or bad, cannot fail to produce, and so indirectly, yet surely, shape his circumstances. Nature helps every man to the gratification of the thoughts which he most encourages, and opportunities are presented which will most speedily bring to the surface both the good and evil thoughts. Let a man cease from his sinful thoughts, and all the world will soften towards him and be ready to help him. Let him put away his weakly and sickly thoughts, and lo, opportunities will spring up on every hand to aid his strong resolves. Let him encourage good thoughts, and no hard fate shall bind him down to wretchedness and shame. The world is your kaleidoscope, and the varying combinations of colors which at every succeeding moment it presents to you are the exquisitely adjusted pictures of your ever-moving thoughts. So you will be what you will to be. Let failure find its false content in that poor word, environment, but spirit scorns it and is free. It masters time, it conquers space, it cows that boastful trickster chance, and bids the tyrant circumstance uncrown and fill a servant's place. The human will that forces and decay, at the command of glad and beautiful thoughts it becomes clothed with youthfulness and beauty. Disease and health, like circumstances, are rooted in thought. Sickly thoughts will express themselves through a sickly body. Thoughts of fear have been known to kill a man as speedily as a bullet, and they are continually killing thousands of people just as surely, though less rapidly. The people who live in fear of disease are the people who get it. Anxiety quickly demoralizes the whole body and lays it open to the entrance of disease, while impure thoughts, even if not physically indulged, will soon shatter the nervous system. Strong, pure, and happy thoughts build up the body in vigor and grace. The body is a delicate and plastic instrument which responds readily to the thoughts by which it is impressed, and habits of thought will produce their own effects, good or bad, upon it. Men will continue to have impure and poisoned blood so long as they propagate unclean thoughts. Out of a clean heart comes a clean life and a clean body. Out of a defiled mind proceeds a defiled life and a corrupt body. Thought is the fount of action, life, and manifestation. Make the fountain pure, and all will be pure. Change of diet will not help a man who will not change his thoughts. When a man makes his thoughts pure, he no longer desires impure food. Clean thoughts make clean habits. The so-called saint who does not wash his body is not a saint. He who has strengthened and purified his thoughts does not need to consider the malevolent microbe. If you would protect your body, guard your mind. If you would renew your body, beautify your mind. Thoughts of malice, envy, disappointment, despondency rob the body of its health and grace. A sour face does not come by chance. It is made by sour thoughts. Wrinkles that mar are drawn by folly, passion, and pride. I know a woman of 96 who has the bright, innocent face of a girl. I know a man well under middle age whose face is drawn into inharmonious contours. The one is the result of a sweet and sunny disposition. The other is the outcome of passion and discontent. As you cannot have a sweet and wholesome abode unless you admit the air and sunshine freely into your rooms, so a strong body and a bright, happy, or serene countenance can only result from the free admittance into the mind of thoughts of joy and goodwill and serenity. On the faces of the aged there are wrinkles made by sympathy, others by strong and pure thought, and others are carved by passion. Who cannot distinguish them? With those who have lived righteously, age is calm, peaceful, and softly mellowed like the setting sun. I have recently seen a philosopher on his deathbed. He was not old, except in years. He died as sweetly and peacefully as he had lived. There is no physician like cheerful thought for dissipating the ills of the body. There is no comforter to compare with goodwill for dispersing the shadows of grief and sorrow. To live continually in thoughts of ill will, cynicism, suspicion, and envy is to be confined in a self-made prison hole. But to think well of all, to be cheerful with all, to patiently learn to find the good in all, such unselfish thoughts are the very portals of heaven. And to dwell day by day in thoughts of peace toward every creature will bring abounding peace to their possessor. Thought and purpose. Until thought is linked with purpose, there is no intelligent accomplishment. With the majority, the bark of thought is allowed to drift upon the ocean of life. Aimlessness is a vice, and such drifting must not continue for him who would steer clear of catastrophe and destruction. They who have no central purpose in their life fall an easy prey to petty worries, fears, troubles, and self-pityings, all of which are indications of weakness, which lead just as surely as deliberately planned sins, though by a different route, to failure, unhappiness, and loss. For weakness cannot persist in a power-evolving universe. A man should conceive of a legitimate purpose in his heart and set out to accomplish it. He should make this purpose the centralizing point of his thoughts. It may take the form of a spiritual ideal, or it may be a worldly object, according to his nature at the time being. But whichever it is, he should steadily focus his thought forces upon the object which he has set before him. He should make this purpose his supreme duty, and should devote himself to its attainment, not allowing his thoughts to wander away into ephemeral fancies, longings, and imaginings. This is the royal road to self-control and true concentration of thought. Even if he fails again and again to accomplish his purpose, as he necessarily must until weakness is overcome, the strength of character gained will be the measure of his true success, and this will form a new starting point for future power and triumph. Those who are not prepared for the apprehension of a great purpose should fix the thoughts upon the faultless performance of their duty, no matter how insignificant their task may appear. Only in this way can the thoughts be gathered and focused, and resolution and energy be developed, which being done, there is nothing which may not be accomplished. The weakest soul, knowing its own weakness, and believing this truth, that strength can only be developed by effort and practice, will, thus believing, at once begin to exert itself, and adding effort to effort, patience to patience, and strength to strength, will never cease to develop and will at last grow divinely strong. As the physically weak man can make himself strong by careful and patient training, so the man of weak thoughts can make them strong by exercising himself in right thinking. To put away aimlessness and weakness and to begin to think with purpose is to enter the ranks of those strong ones who only recognize failure as one of the pathways to attainment, who make all conditions serve them, and who think strongly, attempt fearlessly, and accomplish masterfully. Having conceived of his purpose, a man should mentally mark out a straight pathway to its achievement, looking neither to the right nor the left. Doubts and fears should be rigorously excluded. They are disintegrating elements which break up the straight line of effort, rendering it crooked, ineffectual, useless. Thoughts of doubt and fear never accomplish anything and never can. They always lead to failure. Purpose, energy, power to do, and all strong thoughts cease when doubt and fear creep in. The will to do springs from the knowledge that we can do. Doubt and fear are the great enemies of knowledge, and he who encourages them, who does not slay them, thwarts himself at every step. He who has conquered doubt and fear has conquered failure. His every thought is allied with power, and all difficulties are bravely met and wisely overcome. His purposes are seasonably planted, and they bloom and bring forth fruit, which does not fall prematurely to the ground. Thought, allied fearlessly to purpose, becomes creative force. He who knows this is ready to become something higher and stronger than a mere bundle of wavering thoughts and fluctuating sensations. He who does this has become the conscious and intelligent wielder of his mental powers. The thought factor in achievement. All that a man achieves, and all that he fails to achieve, is the direct result of his own thoughts. In a justly ordered universe, where loss of equipoise would mean total destruction, individual responsibility must be absolute. A man's weakness and strength, purity and impurity are his own, and not another man's. They are brought about by himself and not by another, and they can only be altered by himself, never by another. His condition is also his own, and not another man's. His suffering and his happiness are evolved from within. As he thinks, so he is. As he continues to think, so he remains. A strong man cannot help a weaker unless that weaker is willing to be helped. And even then, the weak man must become strong of himself. He must, by his own efforts, develop the strength which he admires in another. None but himself can alter his condition. It has been usual for men to think and to say, many men are slaves because one is an
to the post office. And yeah, I think I'm going to end the vlog here. Thank you guys so much for viewing. If you made it to this part, you're a real one. Please give me a huge thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in the next video.